Welcome to the Retro Blood.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Retro Blood. As we finish up this month-long reviews from the mind of J.H. Alison for his birthday month, talking the one and only Ulli Lommel and some of his crazy films from the 1980s. Up next, if you all like a girl who witnessed her mom fornicating with some army guy and her getting killed right in front of her eyes, for her to turn into a psycho loving streetwalker business girl. All right. If y'all like a guy who supposedly works on the London Bridge, was gonna go out to find himself some ass for that night, ended up loving the street walker,
right,
so much that he got into a tangled relationship with him, and he died Viva electric toothbrush.
Yes.
If y'all like some asshole London dude who was an asshole the whole film, fell off the bridge, came back at the end, was a heel, and died, this is the film for you, because the Retro Blood is talking all about this softcore porn known as Olivia. All right.
Yeah.
J.H. Alison, James Kline, what's happening, Alison? How did you like this? How would you like London, and how did you like Arizona? Apparently, we're in both places.
I know we were in both places. This is at a dual location. This is a big deal for Ulli to do a movie like this. What did I think of this? I didn't hate it. I liked it. Okay. It still has the same problems that all his other movies seem to have.
Yeah.
Except this one had no ending. It had a bunch of middle. I mean, it had an ending, but I mean, it just came out of nowhere. Because we're like 9 minutes from the end of the movie, and we're still not going towards an ending, and all of a sudden, there it is.
Yeah, I could dig that. Like, this one was an interesting one. You know what I mean? At first, I was thinking like, this reminds me of the HBO late night specials. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of, for sure.
But I liked it where it had like the grittiness at the beginning. You know, it was kind of starting off like I Spit on Your Grave or Last House on the Left. You know what I mean? You got the mom getting killed by the kink guy, and then having the daughter watch it. Obviously, the daughter's going to grow up to have some trauma. But it was kind of weird, like the trauma. I wasn't really feeling her trauma too much. She only killed one person. All right, and then it was just, I'm just gonna have sex with this guy from Arizona after that. Strange. And of course she killed the guy at the end, but
of course. Which made sense, of course. But I mean, it's kind of like it's just like all the other ones. It's just kind of like like there's no substance to it. Like, he had this idea, but it's not like totally fleshed out, and it was just like a bunch of like, okay.
Yeah.
And here's the end. But yeah, you're right. Like, I didn't feel like she didn't seem to be like particularly traumatized like she should be for this situation. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, we'll break it down obviously for the audience, but I thought it was pretty good when it comes like the artsy aspect of the film. I thought it was pretty good when it comes to like, they had some relationship building on there, some pretty good character building. But like it was weird because like she was having the trauma, all right, and then she ends up liking the one guy, Arizona dude, and then like the boyfriend goes away, and then like randomly the shit just disappears, and then they randomly meet each other. I don't know, it just some of it is a little strange, I would say. All right, it just it just
just doesn't seem like it was very planned out.
I mean, what I was thinking the whole time, I was like, okay, I think this Ulli Lommel just wants to watch his wife have some sex with some guy and film it. That's what it reminded me of. All right.
Well, yeah. What I was gonna say is it reminds me of like kind of how Brian De Palma like always put his I don't think they were married, but his girlfriend or wife or whatever in bad situations. Like she's like, like he always cast her as like a prostitute or something like that.
Yeah.
And then like in this movie, he casts her as a prostitute, and then in the other movie, she's like a she's a witch, and like I don't know. It's this weird like thing that they do, but yeah,
it's very strange. So, but we'll break it all down, and we'll talk about why this film was made and everything, and of course, we'll talk about what's going to be happening next month for the month of May, which is going to be my birthday month and my birthday
your birthday month. Yeah, hell yeah.
So we'll see what kind of wild shit we get into, but. Like we do on every Retro Blood, let's talk about what is going on in the world of the pro wrestling and the metal music. Now, we're going to do stuff a little different, just like we did last episode. Because last episode, we talked about night one of the 2026 WrestleMania. All right? WrestleMania 42, night one, Saturday. So, obviously we're a couple of days removed from WrestleMania. Pretty much like a week removed right now. And then we're going to talk about, we're going to skip the history segment. We're going to bring it back here in May, talk about 80s wrestling and 80s metal. We're going to bring that back in May. But right now we're going to finish up our review of WrestleMania 42, and we're going to talk about night two, which I thought, Alison, I'm pretty sure you could agree with me, was a more enjoyable night of the wrestling.
You said night two?
Yeah, night two, yeah.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah. Night two was way better than night one, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. So we have a couple fun stuff that happened on this from night one and stuff. We're just going to talk about some of our opinions on here. Bring up my little list here. So the first hour in the history of wrestling, the first hour was aired on ESPN.
Yes.
And I heard like the ratings were okay. Like it wasn't anything special.
Yeah, I mean, it was the first time WrestleMania had been on. Like, didn't ESPN used to have wrestling in the 80s?
Yeah, ESPN would have like stuff like some of their ESPN channels. There was even an ESPN that had like TNA for a while. But I mean, on the proper ESPN, this is the first time. Yes, you're right. WrestleMania was on there.
Yeah, I mean, I thought didn't the it's escaping my mind right now. What promotion did the Ganyas run?
The Ganyas, they did the AWA.
Yeah, wasn't AWA on ESPN or something for a while, like in probably. The 80s or early 80s, maybe.
Yeah,
but yeah, this is a pretty big deal because it's the first time it's ever ran on actual ESPN that people could watch without a pay-per-view. Subscription. So
the first match was probably one of the most anticipated match of the weekend, I would say. Which was Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi. I was looking forward to this match because I was like the big dudes, you know what I mean? The jacked up big monsters going out there and beating the shit out of each other.
Yes.
So, entrances were cool. All right. The match was okay. I would say it's like, it was like 5 or 6 minutes?
It was 4 minutes and 46 seconds.
There you go. That's all we need, brother. Just go out there, do a couple things, you're out.
That's it.
So this one, to me, wasn't as good has the Brock Lesnar and Goldberg match from WrestleMania. I thought that one was way more explosive, but for Obafemi looking very dominant and getting a very decisive win, I thought it was good in that aspect. So that's good.
Yeah, it looks like they're gonna strap the rocket pack to that guy and send him straight to the top.
Yeah. It's getting super over. I remember watching a couple of his stuff in NXT. He's always, very impressive guy. But it seems like he's going to do a lot better on the main roster than he even did in NXT. So, but we'll be seeing big things out of that guy. So,
for sure.
And then, of course, we had the shocking. It wasn't really an announcement, but we had the shocking visual of Brock Lesnar basically retiring in the ring.
Yes,
which I didn't expect at all. I thought he was going to retire in Minnesota, but. Apparently, all the reports so far right now are saying that he's pretty much done. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see what's going on with that.
Yeah, I mean, they might be able to talk him into coming back for a final match in Minnesota at SummerSlam. But But yeah, he looked done. I mean, that to me, that looked. Brock is not a good actor, and to me, that looked like real emotion. That he was really ready to go, and and the way he was like thanking the fans. I've never seen him do anything like that ever.
Yeah.
So
it was pretty,
yeah.
I never seen anything like that. You see, he was crying. You even get the little X deal right there to Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman was crying.
Yeah.
So it was I think it was a shock. I think that was a legit, man. I think he like legit was like, I'm done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now we have seen this before, where the Undertaker technically retired in the ring for WrestleMania, and he came back. So I guess, like I said, it's all wait and see. So
exactly.
So. But I thought the match was fun. I liked it. Two big guys going out there beating their ass. You know what I mean? Good stuff.
Yes.
Up next was the AEW car crash match, the ladder match, which I thought it was pretty fun. Now, it wasn't a super AEW like, but it was the closest AEW match you could find on a WrestleMania pay-per-view, which would be this match.
Yes.
I thought this match I could not believe that. I mean, I seen him do it before. I seen Penta do the Mexican Destroyer on the ladder before. I think he did it to his brother before. But I did not expect the WWE to like sanction that. So when he did that to JD McDonough, I was like, "Oh shit! I can't believe they let him do that." So I thought that was super cool.
That looked like it hurt like hell.
I know. That's like I don't know about that one. All right. So, but this match is fun, man. It's your WrestleMania. You get maybe like 10, 15 minutes or whatever. You just go out there and do a bunch of spots. So for a bunch of spots out there, I thought it was good. I thought everybody did a pretty good job in the match. Even Rusev, I thought they all did pretty fun. So
yeah, Rusev going through that ladder from the outside of the ring over the top rope to the ladder on the outside, that was pretty sick too.
Yeah, so Penta won, which is the right choice.
Yes.
He used to. What's funny about Penta, man? Like, I remember for the longest time, like even when Penta was in Lucha Underground, because that's how I found out about Penta. I got to meet him before he became like WWE famous. He was in Lucha Underground at the time, and I was like, man, this guy's fucking like. I was a big fan of his. His character was always so unique.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like his wrestling isn't like the most flashiest wrestling, but it's still good. But what I'm getting at is I did not realize by watching Penta these years and years of watching Penta, I had no idea he would actually do fairly decent in the WWE. You know what I mean?
I'm a little surprised too. I'm really surprised too. But I mean, his character is so unique. And he's so over with people, and it's not the same world it used to be.
Yeah, exactly.
Now with wrestling internet, like people know who Penta is before he even showed up. I first saw him on Triple A's YouTube show, like when they used to show their television episodes on YouTube. And he was like when I first got back into wrestling hardcore, like 2016 or something like that. When I started like really, 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 really getting into it again. He was Pentagon Jr.
Yeah.
And then he was like the nemesis of Octagon Jr.
Yeah.
Who I believe is in AEW now.
It might be, yeah.
Or at least working with him. But yeah, Penta's great. I don't know what the ceiling is for Penta. I mean, I don't know if he can be a world champion or not with the people they've got, but he can do this for a while and we'll see. Yeah. I mean, he's great though. And this was a good match, 15 minutes long.
Yeah. So fun stuff, and that ends the ESPN portion of our WrestleMania review.
Yeah.
All right, and then you know what we get next? Commercials.
Hope you for love 3.5 or 4 minutes. Yeah.
Commercial mania, brother, is running wild.
Commercial mania. Yeah, I watched a minute trailer about Hulk Hogan documentary.
Bro, what was with that? Like, I mean, like, okay, so you know what's funny about all these like documentaries and stuff? Like, if you've been watching wrestling for as long as me and Alison, dude, like all these stories that are talking about is like we've already heard it like 1,000 times. And then,
but this is new.
But this is all new. But the problem is, so for all you fans out there that might be a little bit new to pro wrestling. Let's just say that one Terry Bollea, Hulk Hogan, rest in peace, one of my favorites. He is not necessarily the most honest guy.
Yeah, or, not the most truthful.
He doesn't remember history that well. Let's just say that.
No, he once said that Metallica asked him to join the band.
Well, hey, we don't know that,
And
brother.
we don't know that's not true.
Lars can't handle them pythons, brother. All right, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's true.
All right, them 24 inches, brother. All right. So, but yeah, there's a bunch of like Hulk Hogan stuff. I haven't watched the documentary yet. Apparently, it's like 4 episodes. I'm gonna watch it. We'll see how it is. I know almost everything about the guy's career because I'm a wrestling junkie. So I'll see if I'll watch anything. There'll be anything new, but I doubt it. So the next match we get one Tricky Williams, Playboy himself. All right.
Yeah.
Coming out there with Alison's favorite rapper, Little Yachty.
Lil Yachty, yeah.
You ever heard his stuff or no? I haven't heard his shit at all.
Yeah, I like Lil Yachty. Mm.
Is it like Juicy J good or is it like?
No, it's not Juicy J good, but it's sort of like a new. I guess you could say it's sort of a new version of that in a way. I mean, it doesn't sound like Juicy J, but he's from Atlanta, so it's like Southern hip hop.
Did you see
I like it though.
Did you see the rap that Trick and Little Yachty did on Sami Zayn, Gingerbread Man? Did you see that?
Yes.
I thought that was pretty good. Oh. I guess I would be the gingerbread man too. I mean, look at me, man. I'm fucking reddish fucked right now because it's light. Goddamn, I should be Sami Zayn's cousin on here. All right. So I like Trick Williams' entrance. I thought it was cool. I liked it where he came out with the robe and it was like taking up the whole stage. Did you see the guy who like? Did you see the guy that put a meme? They put it for a CVS receipt. For his cake?
No, I didn't see that. That's pretty funny though. That's pretty hilarious.
So then Sami Zayn came out. I thought this match was nothing special, which I knew it was going to be, but obviously the right person won. Trick Williams, obviously they're pushing the guy to the moon. You know, like I told you guys last week and stuff. Trick Williams is like probably one of my favorites. I started to like him when I saw him enter Dexter Lumis's Halloween House in NXT before he got kind of popular. But I've always been a big fan of the guy. Obviously, his wrestling is not like, he's not like a real Osprey or nothing, but he can get it done in the ring, and he's a great personality, which is always fun.
Yeah, he has a good personality. I think that he's going to go big places. I mean, he's going to be a world champion for sure. I don't see any way around that unless he fucks something up. But yeah, Trick Williams will be a world champion. I didn't care for this match. I'm as a fan of both of these people. This was obviously just to put the title on Trick. Maybe we'll get the Sami Zayn heel turn. But we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, Sami Zayn, he can kind of do whatever. He can kind of go babyface, heel. You know what I mean? He can kind of bounce around. I actually liked him as a babyface. He kind of reminded me of like a newer age Mick Foley as a babyface.
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like if they're gonna put the title on Sammy ever, they kind of need to do it fairly soon. I mean, he's already in his 40s, but I don't think that's gonna happen. But they keep hinting at it over and over and over again. Well, but I just
supposedly, they're in Saudi Arabia next year, supposedly. So there you go.
Maybe, maybe.
So up next, we get the Demon, Finn Balor versus Dominic Mysterio, who came out with a really cool entrance, like the King of the Luchador entrance.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So I said this last week, and it's still on here. I don't mind the Demon Finn Balor. I like the gimmick. I think it's kind of cool. But I thought his stuff in Japan, when he came out in the face paint, was like way cooler.
Yeah. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, he was much cooler as the leader of the Bullet Club when he would come out in the face paint. But this is as good as we're going to get, closest we're going to get to that. But I hadn't seen the Demon in a while. It's been 3 years since we've had a Demon match.
Yeah, something like that. I think the last one was when he fought Roman Reigns. So
yeah. So it was pretty good. I mean, it was a good match.
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I mean, obviously he won his stuff, so I don't know where they're going to go from here. I guess we'll see what happens and stuff. But
I mean, I like Dom more every day.
Yeah. He's a guy who's definitely like, Alison. I'm old enough to remember when they had Dominic on a pole.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Well, he wasn't technically on a pole, but they had the custody battle.
Yeah, with him and Eddie. Eddie Guerrero and Ray. Yeah. Because a few months ago he referenced that because he did the after show or the press conference thing or whatever they do, and then someone asked him like how old he was when he debuted. He's like 8.
Yeah, 8. Yeah, basically,
yeah.
Bro, he was all over, man. He was in that angle.
Yeah.
He was in the CM Punk angle when CM Punk came out there and was like talking shit about Rey Mysterio's family. Like he before he was Dominic Mysterio guy, he was on the television. I would say like very regularly, but he was like an established character. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, and I feel like also what he's doing is kind of the opposite of what they say he's doing. He is really referencing and holding a reverence for classic luchador wrestling.
Yeah.
Even though they say he's not doing that, that's exactly what he's doing. Because like he has the Eddie Guerrero look.
Mm-hmm.
The Sex Machine Eddie Guerrero era look with the mullet and the mustache. Yeah. And then he has in his mask that he wore when he came out was like a combination between his dad's mask and El Santo's mask.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of cool. He claimed, they say that he's like, shitting on luchadors or whatever, but he's actually honoring the luchador culture. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
He knows where he came from.
So up next, by the way, like I said, Finn Balor won that match. All right. So up next, we have the WWE Women's Championship match.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill. I thought the match honestly was actually pretty good. I mean, it's like this probably had to be like one of the best like Jade Cargill matches I've ever seen.
The match was pretty good. I just didn't give a shit about this because I can't stand Jade Cargill and I'm sick of Rhea Ripley.
You don't like the posing?
No, I don't like any of this. I hated all of this. I mean, the match was good though.
You don't like Rhea Ripley singing her song every time she comes out?
It's so obnoxious. It is so obnoxious when she does that. Bro, I hate it when what's her name in AEW does it too, Julia or whatever her name is.
If I had entrance music right now on this podcast, Alison, I would just sing the whole thing just to piss you off.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty easy to do.
What song would I come out to? What's that guy? The new guy that's kind of funny. Kit Wilson. Where's his entrance at? That's a good one. It's like a pop song.
Yeah, I was trying to explain to somebody who Kit Wilson was the other day. Because he has like he has a tag team partner that's been injured for a while. Yeah. So I'm trying to explain who Kit Wilson was, and it's pretty hilarious.
I love that team, man. Like I thought they were going to be huge. You know what I mean? Like I watched them in NXT UK and did a little bit of NXT, and I was like, man, these guys are funny. Like they kind of remind me of like a newer version of Edge and Christian at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
and then
not like 2000 Edge and Christian, but like the earlier years. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that. And then I don't know what happened.
Yeah. Well, he got injured, so that's all.
Well, he did get injured, but so maybe when when Elton Prince comes back, they'll be competing for the tag titles again. No Motor City Machine Guns on WrestleMania. I was sad. No appearance.
Yeah, right,
nothing.
Brother. They were there. They were in the back.
They were in the back.
Catering, brother.
They were at catering.
All right. Yeah, we didn't get a lot of the tag teams on here at all, but they weren't on last year's either. So, but yeah, Rhea Ripley won this match. I thought it was obviously it's the right choice. She's super over with the crowd and everything. I like the Rhea Ripley. I think she has a cool character, but to be honest with you, she is missing something because she's not with the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
So, whatever. Who am I to talk about the non-greatness of the Rhea Ripley? Who am I?
Who are you? Exactly.
All right.
Obviously, somebody likes her.
Yeah. So I bet she's good. Yeah, she does her thing. So. All right. So then we have the main. Well, we did have a song. We did have like a scene of John Cena coming out in his suit. Then we had Danhausen, Miz, and Kit Wilson. I thought the scene was kind of funny, even though like. Danhausen, like he didn't do the line that I thought he was gonna do. Like
what line?
Well, he told Michael Cole told me I could say this. He told the midget to get away. All right, excuse him, and then he went to John Cena and just told him he's a big fan. I thought he was gonna go up to John Cena and say, "Hey, I could see you." You know what I mean?
Wow, that would have been pretty funny.
Yeah. Because Danhausen, he says like funny stuff like that. Remember, he calls CM Punk the Pepsi Man. You know what I mean?
Pepsi Man, yeah.
Like he says like the insider kind of thing. So I don't know why he just didn't come with the John Cena. It's like, hey, I could see you. You know what I mean? But he didn't say that.
No, no.
So this match, it's
yeah.
all right. They kicked them both in the dick and then they left.
Yeah, I mean, I used to like Danhausen when he first came out. I thought he was funny.
Yeah.
But what annoys me is that he's making an entire career being a wrestler, but never wrestling.
Well, he wrestled that one match and he cursed. Boy, he's gonna curse you, brother.
Yeah, well, maybe. Yeah, he was in the ring for like 10 seconds or something. But I mean, whatever. I mean, as much money as you can make without actually getting hurt.
Yeah,
that's good. All good on him.
You know, the weird thing about Danhausen is, so one time I was at one of those horror movie conventions because he used to do those. He's not doing those nowadays because he's making that money.
Mm-hmm.
But the guy is fucking tall, bro. Like he's like almost as tall as me, like 6'1".
Oh wow!
Now he's like $150, soaking wet, brother. All right, but other than that, I thought he was a pretty tall dude. I didn't expect that. So,
and I'm sure was he in his makeup when you met him?
I don't remember. I didn't meet him. I just walked past him. I was gonna meet that Mark. What are you talking about? All right, hell no, I ain't meeting that Mark. All right, meeting Danhausen. You gotta be kidding me. All right. Anyway, so
he's gonna curse you. Anyway,
see, people like it when I drink on the show. It gets a lot more entertaining.
It is.
By the way, I got this. Well, I'll talk about it when we do the review.
Okay.
But we got the main event coming up. We have Roman Reigns. All right, the man who wrestles. Apparently, he's gonna wrestle more, but the man who wrestles only once in a while. Versus CM Punk, who came out to his AFI music, which I popped. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, that was cool. That was his indie music.
Yes. He used that in AEW before as well. I think when he did that collar match with MJF.
Yeah.
That's a great song. One of the only emo bands I like, I guess, AFI. But they come out and I thought they had like a really good like WrestleMania main event match. I was like pretty impressed, bro. I was like, God damn, these guys are working hard. Like it makes sense though. You know, CM Punk for decades has been bitching about getting his fucking main event for WrestleMania. And I should have just expected, like, you know what? This guy, he's been bitching about this for so fucking long. Like, he's just going to go out there and leave it all in the ring. And I thought he did a great job. I loved his selling. I loved, like, he was, like, gassed out and stuff. And, you know, the younger, powerful, more athletic Roman Reigns beat him and stuff. It was a great storytelling, I would say. I thought it would. I was surprised, though. I didn't really expect it to happen because, you know, like, when you think of the World Heavyweight Championship, this version of it was created because Roman Reigns had both belts from the Raw and SmackDown, and he was a part-timer. So they created the World Heavyweight Championship because Roman Reigns wouldn't go to both shows. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was weird because we were told that the World Heavyweight Championship, this version, was like the workhorse title. That's the guy who defends it every week or whatever, is every month or whatever. And I was like, oh, they're giving it to Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns used to even bash the belt, saying like the secondary, that shit don't, said that belt don't matter. And now he holds it. So it's very interesting.
Yeah. And then he said he was going to come out. He's not going to be part-time anymore. He's going to be full-time now. Well, which I'm sure was like something he had to do to get this title. But, they don't want a part-time title champion on Netflix now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense because, like, that's it just kind of weird. So, a lot of times, if you all been watching wrestling for a long time, like me and Alison, they'll tell you shit, but they don't really, like, follow through with it. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Like, the WWE, they'll tell you a bunch of, oh, yeah, this, and this, and then it, like, never happens. I was surprised that they're actually keeping whoever is the World Heavyweight Champion, like, a constant figure on their show. It's actually pretty cool so far that they're actually doing that.
But apparently we don't have a brand split anymore. That's not like a thing now.
Yeah.
So
I think
I guess it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think what they're doing is they're doing like some switches. So they're doing like right now, like, on the Monday after WrestleMania, we had Jacob Fatu come on there. So apparently he's a Raw guy now too. We had Ethan Page coming on there. He's a Raw guy now too. So they're just kind of just showing up. Like, hey, I'm on Raw now. Hey, look at me. You know what I mean?
And then Cody was on there, and then he kind of implied that he was going to go. That's CM Punk kind of implied he was going to go try to take Cody's title. So
which would be a good match. You know what I mean?
Yes, that'll be a really good match.
You know what I mean? So, and shoot, we're recording this on Thursday, so we don't know what Friday looks like yet.
Right.
But I'm pretty sure maybe Punk's going to go to SmackDown. So I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, as a whole, I thought the WrestleMania this year was like, eh. It was eh. But I thought night 2 definitely was pretty fun. When I watched it, I was very entertained by a lot of the segments and the matches that they had. So
yeah, night 2 was pretty good. Night 1 was, I guess, okay. It was nothing was nowhere near as good as the last year or the year before.
Yeah.
The last 3 years have all been really good, and this was like, it was okay.
That's true. The stories for 40, for 40 and 41 were very strong. But it happens like that. Not every WrestleMania can be strong. So I guess we'll see next year what they have planned up. Maybe we'll have Commercial Mania too.
Maybe. I'm sure we will have Commercial Mania too.
So, all right. So let's get into who booked this shit, brother.
Yeah, who booked this shit?
We have one Ulli Lommel, which I finally said his name right after this whole month.
Yeah.
And I know I did because I looked up his name a bunch of times. So, we talked about him last week, about him doing all those fucking 2000 serial killer movies and shit, which apparently I didn't realize they got such a low rating on them. I love those movies.
I haven't really watched any of them, but they're definitely considered a low point in his career.
That's like a high point. I love those movies, man. I thought they were pretty fucking wild. All right. Compared to, this right here, this movie was like, it seemed like Ulli was like, you know what? I'm going to have my wife just fucking go on screen and take over, brother. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to watch her do her thing, if you know what I mean.
Yep. Exactly. I think we do.
So this one was, it was kind of like a collaboration on here. We have Ulli Lommel. It was starring Suzanna Love, his wife at the time, and Robert Walker Jr.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one right here was written by Ulli Lommel and a John P. Marshall. All right. So basically, this was a screenplay. It was kind of a short. It was a short film, or the idea was it was a short film made up by Marshall, which he had directed, and this basically was a kind of like an adaptation from a short story by a French writer, Guy de Maupassant.
That's pretty close. That's pretty close.
Guy P. Maupassant.
I think it's Guy de Maupassant, but I'm really bad at French names, so.
Well, I heard you got
Yeah.
There we go. All right. So internationally, Olivia was released under the alternative title. You like these ones. Perazzi.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. It sounds Italian.
And the ABC late night show Double Jeopardy, brother. All right.
Yeah, that sounds like a TV movie title. Double Jeopardy.
I like Double Jeopardy. I think that's kind of funny. All right.
I don't like any of these names, really. I think Olivia is a terrible name for this, too, even though, of course, it makes sense. But yeah, Double Jeopardy is the one I would pick if I had to pick one of these, probably.
You don't like Perazzi?
I don't know what that means.
Hey, that's a Perazzi.
It's a Perazzi.
It's a Mega Mario.
Okay. No, I don't even know what that means.
All right. So apparently, this was in the United States. The film distributor was Ambassador Films, released it under the alternative title. Check this one out. A Taste of Sin. Fuck yeah, brother. That's the one.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that's the way.
That is an HBO fuzzy TV late at night when you're 14 years old trying to watch a titty. That's what that is, brother.
Yeah, A Taste of Sin.
You all know what I'm talking about out there. Y'all had HBO in your fucking house as a kid, and it would be fuzzy, but every once in a while you can catch a titty on there. Don't think I'm the only one that's done that. I know you all have done it before.
Yeah, we all have. Yeah.
Comment below if y'all ever seen some HBO fuzzy shit on there. All right. All right. So a couple things about it. So apparently Lommel and Love devised the idea for Olivia while intending to produce a sequel to The Boogeyman, which we are going to do at some time in the near future, because the Boogeyman actually had a couple sequels. So I want to do that for like maybe like a Halloween review or something down the road. You know what I mean? So we have John P. Marshall, who met Lommel at a party in Santa Monica. So that's how it started. It all starts at parties, brother. You know what I mean? All
Usually.
in California. So he was originally was going to co-write a screenplay for a sequel to Boogeyman 2. All right, but it says while scouting for locations for the project, Lommel, Marshall, and Love traveled through Mexico before passing through Lake Havas City, Arizona, the location of the 17th century former London Bridge, which was disassembled and relocated from England to Arizona. Wow, of all places. We're gonna put your fucking bridge in Arizona, of all places.
Yeah, because I guess they were gonna tear it down and rebuild it, which is a plot point of this movie. But this happened in like 1968, I think, and it was rebuilt in 1972. In Lake Havasu. But it was they used the outside of it and then rebuilt the inside of it, and it's still there to this day. If you go to Arizona, you can walk across the London Bridge.
There you go. That's pretty sweet. So it was repurposed into a bridge spanning the Colorado River.
Yeah.
So Lommel, fascinated by the bridge, so he came up with this movie for watching a bridge. He was like, you know what, Susan? I got. Imagine this conversation. I say, I'm inspired, Susan. We got this Arizona London Bridge, and you know what'd be a great story? I'm gonna make you into a traumatized hooker who's gonna get fucked by this American guy with a bunch of scenes all over, and then you're gonna kill kind of his. Well, the London boyfriend's gonna get jealous. He's gonna fall off the bridge. You're gonna disappear for 5 years. Then your American shiny hero boyfriend's gonna come back, fuck you again, and then he's gonna die by toothbrush.
Yes, electric toothbrush.
And she's like, sign me up, brother.
Right, sounds good to me. Let's do it. It's art. It's art.
I had to go just like that. All right. Yeah, it's art. All right. So basically, he was fascinated by it. She asked Marshall to help write a screenplay centered around it. I mean, it wasn't even I get. Okay. I know there was London Bridge was there.
Yes.
But it's like okay. I want to ask questions. All right.
It doesn't make sense. Like you're trying to make something that doesn't make any sense make sense. It doesn't make any sense. But it's just like, well, maybe we could set this in London and then we can move it to Arizona for no fucking reason. Like there's no reason for any of this to happen in the movie, but it just does.
Well, the plot was, Susan's Love mom got kinked up and died.
Yes. Right. Of course. But why did she move to Arizona?
And then she was to get away, brother. I don't fucking know. We'll talk about it soon in the review because I have no idea why she moved there. It was so we could have Arizona guy chase her again. That's why.
Exactly. It was booked that way.
So Marsh based the screenplay on Streamlined Duchess, a short film he had written in college about a woman living in California who became drawn into a life of prostitution after watching local prostitutes congregate at a motel across the street from her house, which basically kind of didn't happen at this movie at all, but it kind of did, I guess.
Yeah, kind of.
I like how London Bridge was like the prostitute. Like, is that real?
I don't know. I'm not going to say either way, but I have a feeling that's not the case.
If we have London listeners out here, can you let me know or comment below if that's where all the prostitutes are at, under the bridge, brother?
Well, they'd have to be pretty old because it's been gone since 1968.
So now they're all in Arizona?
But they all moved. All the London prostitutes moved to Arizona. Okay, when they moved the bridge.
If we have any Arizona listeners, let me know if there's any prosties under the fucking bridge. Okay? Come on here. So Marshall had based this film on a short story by French. Well, we talked about that guy.
Yeah.
Guy.
Yeah, that guy.
That's more German. Sorry. Yeah, that was French enough. All right. So principal photography Olivia took place in both the United States and England, with the London interiors being filmed on location, as well as the lake set interiors being filmed on location in Arizona. During the shoot, the film had the working title. You got to be fucking kidding me. Faces of Fear.
Faces of Fear.
Which used to be my old podcast. The Faces of Fear podcast, brother. And also used to be a great tag team in WCW. With Ming and the Barbarian. All right. How many fucking names does this movie have? Anyway, the majority of the interior sequences were filmed in Los Angeles, many inside Lummel's home. Oh, you don't say, brother.
Weird.
Oh, bro, I bet you all those sex scenes were in his fucking house. He's like, hey, brother.
Those are probably his birds.
He got this fucking Robert Walker Jr. guy. He's like, hey, Walker, are you gonna be fucking my wife? All right. I don't even know what the Lommel guy sounds like. Is he German or something? I don't know.
Yeah, he is German, so he probably sounds German.
You know, fucking my wife. All right. So
I'm sure that's a very good approximation of what he sounds like.
So according to the co-writer and assistant director John P. Marshall, many sequences in the film, larger than interiors, were completed after filming had officially wrapped and the production had recurrently ran out of funding. So
shocking.
So it says Olivia premiered theatrical. Really? Where? In the United States under the title A Taste of Sin on March 18th, 1983, opening in New York City and Los Angeles. There you go, brother. What do you think if you would have saw this? Alison, what do you think if you would have saw this movie in theaters?
I mean, I think it would have been just like any of these other movies. I mean, it would have been like going to see like Cannibal Holocaust or something and be like, oh, this weird movie that we saw. Oh, no, Cannibal Holocaust is way better than this, but I'm just saying it'd just be like another weird, like foreign movie that we watched.
I guess.
We probably wouldn't talk about it as much, but you know.
This one was like, okay, it had a little bit of horror elements to it, but to me, this is more like a softcore porn than anything.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of like a thriller, like a murder thriller sort of and stuff. There's no mystery. I was gonna say a murder mystery, but there's no mystery to it.
Yeah,
at all.
Well, the mystery was why our boy Michael over here didn't realize all the signs that he was hooking up with some crazy bitch. That's what the mystery was. He was like, "Fuck it, brother. I don't care. I'm gonna get this London squeeze one way or another."
Yeah.
So, but yeah, apparently the film was released on Blu-ray in the United States, or in the United Kingdom, sorry, by 88 Film in 2017. In April 2020, the American label Vinegar Syndrome released a Blu-ray and DVD combination pack of the film. So you can get it on Blu-ray if y'all want to. So, yeah. You got anything
That's who booked the shit.
That's who booked the shit.
No, not really. That covers it pretty good. Pretty good, I think.
So, like I said, like, you know, this guy, before we end, you know, and we get to the full review, this guy Luminal, I would say his movies are bad, but they're definitely like, I feel like they're always like missing something. You know what I mean?
Well, right. That's kind of what I was trying to articulate before, was that the movies aren't bad. Yeah. There's just not much to them. You know what I mean? There's just like, you know, it's just.
I did like this.
I liked it. I enjoyed it. Yeah.
I thought that was pretty fun for what it was, and you know what I mean. This would be a good date movie to watch too, brother. You'd be like, hey, you know, we can do what they're doing right now if you know what I'm talking about.
Except for all the sexual assault, but
yeah. Not the kinky stuff, but other than that, hey, you know, we don't kink shame on the Retro Blood.
We don't. Okay? We don't.
So whatever y'all are into, just go ahead. All right, except, you know, don't be like the military guy, which we're going to talk about here in a second. But let's get into the full review of Olivia.
Let's do it.
In everything, there is a light and a dark side. In everyone, there is good and evil. And sometimes the darkness creates someone like Olivia. By day, she's just a shy young girl. But when night falls, Olivia changes. Love becomes a perverse obsession.
Love to see what's hiding behind those glasses.
Nice view of the bridge you got here. You live alone?
And men will die for her.
Come on, stand back.
Olivia is twice the woman men think she is. Loving by day, hating by night.
I didn't listen to my mother for many years. But now I do everything she tells me.
And always changing. Until the good side joins together with the evil side.
I can't see you anymore, Mike. I can't.
But I love you.
To begin a nightmare of depravity that cannot be stopped.
I
thought I heard you talking to somebody.
I was just talking to myself.
Did you hear that?
What?
Olivia is a double woman with double the sensuality and double the terror. Double Jeopardy, an erotic mystery.
All right. So we're in London. All right. We have a 5-year-old Olivia, and we have her mother reading her some fairy tale stories of shining knights and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
She hears a knock at the door. She puts the Olivia in the closet. All right.
Yeah, as you do, I guess.
But you can obviously look through the peephole what she was doing. All right. So now that we have this soldier-looking guy who's supposedly a sadomasochist. So here's his gimmick. All right. So he looks around, asks her if she lives alone and stuff. You know, there's always signs and this guy's going to be up to no good. And he was all like, listen, I got this little kink over here. All right. What I need you to do is I need you to tie me up in the bed. I am going to tell you to untie me or uncuff me.
But don't do it.
Don't do it, please. Don't do it. All right. I'm telling you, don't fucking do it. All right. And she's like, oh, yeah, I won't do it. All right. So they do their little kinky stuff. Like I said, we don't kink shame out here on the Retro Blood. All right. He's getting strapped and stuff right in. And I guess she's touching herself and he is into the girl's touching herself and can't be touched. Anyway, he gets all pissed off because he wants to choke the bitch. All right.
Right.
And he's like, untie me. And then I feel like the first round of him saying untie me, she just goes and unties his ass. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? You didn't see, he just told you not to do it.
He clearly told you not to do that.
So I think she was like freaked out by it. Maybe this is too kinky for her. So she was trying to get that guy out of here. But then right when she untied him, he took her head and he bashed her. She basically killed the mom, which I thought was pretty fucked up.
Right. But I'm assuming that's why he told her not to untie him.
Yes. Yeah.
Because he was gonna kill her if she did.
Yeah. And like, I was just thinking too, like, I mean, like, does this guy, like, I guess he's done this before or something like that? So he knows what happens if he gets untied. It was super strange. And we never really heard about him. Like, we don't know if he got arrested. We don't know if he got found. Nothing. He just left.
No, because we don't need that as part of the plot.
No, fuck it. We're done. All right.
We don't need an explanation for that. She's just gone out of the story.
So apparently the soldier disposes of the mom's body by throwing it in the river under the London Bridge. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Olivia watches the whole time as a kid, and then the cops try to talk to her, and she doesn't know anything or doesn't say anything. So now, 15 years later, we see a grown-up Olivia, 20 years old. She's apparently in some unhappy relationship with a London dude called Richard. She is trying to get a job at the bar. The guy said that he will hire her, but she has to go ask her husband first. So it's one of those things. So it's one of those things where she has a controlling husband and he controls everything.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want her to work, blah, blah, blah. We got it. All right. So now I guess like because of all this like isolated trauma that's never gotten relieved, she is now haunted by some of her memories of her mother's death. All right. And now she starts hearing some of her mother's voices. And what triggers it is she looks out the window and she sees some prosties underneath the London Bridge. So she decides, you know what? This Richard guy wants to be an a-hole. I can't get the job at the local pub. Maybe I'll listen to the voices in my head and become a prosty myself.
Yep, just like Randy Orton.
Well, I don't know if he's a prosty, but yeah,
he does have voices in his head. Yeah.
So she gets all dappered up. She goes out there. She picks up this dude, which I don't know his fucking name. He takes her to his house, and this guy has like mannequins everywhere. Oh, that's a red flag.
That is a definite red flag.
And then he's tying it up. It's like, and he's all going with it and everything. And eventually, Olivia starts wigging out a little bit, and then she eventually kills the mannequin lover guy.
Yeah.
All right. So now, like, obviously, the trauma of her mom dying, and now it's in her head and everything, of her bad relationship and stuff, and now her inner demon, her inner, I guess it would be like a what do you call it? A split personality is coming out.
Kind of, yeah. Like it's
Uh-huh.
like she has a different personality.
Yeah.
It's sometimes.
Yeah. All right, and she basically, she beats him to death with a vase. All right. So now we meet one Michael Grant.
Yeah,
All
an
right?
American.
He's an American engineer from Los Angeles. He's visiting London to reform the London Bridge, and he's looking for some sex.
Yeah, so this is part historically that confused me. So basically,
which part? Looking for some sex when you're out in the country, brother? What's wrong with that?
No, not that part. That part makes perfect sense. That part makes perfect sense. But he was there to work on the London Bridge, which had been moved in 1968 and is 1983. So,
but no, this is a Ulli story, brother. That bridge
that's
is
true.
still there.
That's true. Because so I don't know. Maybe it takes place earlier than we think.
I do like the scene where he's in the board meeting and and he's all like, "Well, it looking like the repairs would be underneath $1 million." He's like, £1 million, and Richard's like, and Michael's like, no, $1 million, real money. All right, brother.
Which that shows you one difference too, because back then the pounds would have been, or the dollars would have been way more than the pounds.
Yeah.
Now, if it was going to be under $1 million, that would be a bargain for them.
Yeah. Nowadays, yeah.
Yeah, because it's like $1.50 per pound or something now.
That bridge probably would be like, what, $2 billion just to fucking fix?
Oh yeah. Right. Well, you couldn't even do something like that now. It would cost so much money to move that across the country. But anyway. Yeah.
So now he's out there. Apparently, he was just walking around or whatever. I don't believe that. I think he's looking for some prosties. All right.
Well, of course. Yeah.
He encounters Olivia. All right, beneath the bridge. All right. He invites her back to the hotel for some drinks. Okay.
Yeah.
They're about to go get a bottle opener, but she uses her teeth, which is pretty sexy.
That
would have got me too. I was like, all right, bro. Once you see a girl bite a bottle off, you know that shit's game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
You're like, and this guy, Michael, he's like, bro, he might have blow his mind.
You're the one for me.
So now they have, I like this notes. They have passionate sex. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what Lumino was doing during the whole passionate sex stuff. It's like, yes. I get to my wife.
More.
The next day, when Olivia returns home, apparently Richard, I can't say it on here, but he basically has her way with her.
Yeah.
Not good. So we're having like a little struggle. Michael is the good guy that she's now fond of, and now Richard is the bad ex guy that she wants to get rid of but can't. All right. So now Olivia and Michael continue to carry on a secret affair, which their affair was going out to a packed movie theater and making out with each other.
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing at all. Do people even like make out like that in movie theaters anymore? Or is that like an old school thing?
That's definitely an old school thing, but it is 1983, so yeah, that's why that's happening. But I
got a question here. So like back in, I gotta ask somebody, like, we like to be in the 80s, but we're not. Unfortunately, we're not in the 80s right now. I want to ask somebody, like, bro, was the hookup spot like a movie theater? Like, if you invited a girl out to the movie theater, like she already knew what was gonna go on.
I think so. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that the movie theater was a place that like teenagers used to go to like make out because it was dark, and back then it wasn't that expensive to do. No, they definitely weren't teenagers, but it wasn't that expensive to do. So I think that
this guy Michael guy looks like he's 40 years old.
Yeah, I mean, he had his own place. He had his own house, and he had a hotel in London, so they could just went back to his hotel room if they wanted to do that.
So they carry out their little secret affair, but they eventually get discovered by Richard.
Yeah.
Where? Well, on the bridge, brother, because the whole movie's
of course
on the bridge.
Right.
And there's a bunch of stuff that happens in the middle and stuff. Like we have Olivia getting talked to her by her mom. Richard could tell there's something going on. a bunch of stuff. So eventually there's a big scuffle that happens, and Richard starts fighting Michael, and eventually Richard basically falls off the bridge, and they both think he dies. All right. And this freaks out Olivia so much that she flees. Apparently this freaked her out so bad
she
that
disappeared.
She left London altogether and just so happened to move to Arizona.
Where the bridge was moved to. What a coincidence.
Well, I don't think it's a coincidence, Alison, because
that's a good point.
Remember, she has a connection to prosties on the London Bridge. Now she could do some prosties in the Arizona Bridge.
Right.
There you go, brother. There's your connection. See, me and this Lommel guy, we're like this, brother.
You're just like this. Yeah.
So 4 years later, Michael has returned to the United States and residing in Lake Hosby City, Arizona. All right. He just so happened to be there because now
what a coincidence.
Where he's going to be dismantling pieces of the London Bridge, all right, have been resembled to span the Colorado River. So he's working on that bridge now. Okay. So an upscale housing development has opened there, and the region has begun to attract visitors. The local tourism is overseen by Jenny, all right, a tourism ambassador who bears a striking resemblance to Olivia.
Ooh, could it be the same person? Who knows? We'll find out.
But she does a Clark Kent where all she did was she changed her hair.
And nobody knew who she was.
Nobody knows who she was, brother. All right.
Yeah.
So now we have Michael. He was, trying to find maybe a local house around there just so because he's going to be there for a while doing the bridge. And he notices Jenny, and now he's super stalking her. Because remember, he doesn't know, he hasn't seen her since the other bridge. All right.
Right. Now he saw her on the bridge again, and he's obsessed again.
And apparently she's speaking with an American accent, too. So she learned that pretty well. Well, actually, to be honest with you, most people from London or England can do an American accent better than people from America could do a London accent.
I agree with that.
You know what I mean?
Agree with that.
I got 2 cases in point. All right. You can check out Walking Dead, the guy who plays Rick Grimes.
Yeah.
His American accent. Then you can check out Keanu Reeves and Dracula. There you go.
Oh, God. Yeah.
There you go. There you go, brother. There's your 2 examples. All right. That's just the way it is. All right. So Kate Harington also does a pretty good American voice too. I'll give him credit. So convinced that Jenny is in fact Olivia, Michael aggressively pursues her. So he basically is pursuing her a lot now, and he's implying that they meet. He wants to have coffee. All right. She's denying it. All right. But then, like, after a while, he keeps pursuing her, and then she's finally breaks down, and they both have some more sex.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But she's still claiming to be Jenny.
Yeah, well, not anymore. After the sex, brother. After.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
She was playing to be Jenny, and then Michael kept, he kept following her, talking to her around, trying to make her coffee and everything, and eventually they just like have some passionate sex on the floor. All right. All filmed by Luminal.
Yeah.
All right. He was kinking it up, brother. He was like, you know what? That's what we're doing.
I just want to make a movie where somebody else fucks my wife.
The whole fucking movie. All right. And then he's all like, and then there's just like, then now she's staring at her hair, being like, okay. There was such a big gap here that it was very hard to understand what was going on. All right. So after the bridge where Richard supposedly died, she goes away. She starts a whole brand new life somehow with money and everything. We don't know why, how, or nothing. She becomes a person who sells real estate. Next thing you know, Michael comes over there, gives her some of the fucking Michael cock. And then next thing you know, now she's back to Olivia. Now her hair's changing now, everything. So basically she gives Michael a note saying, meet me by the bridge. All right. And now she's back to her blonde hair, and she's in that same flowery dress that they met before. All right. And then they're all like happy together now, and they're all like, this is me. And then they start living together a little bit. And this is when Olivia's like saying, like, my mom is going to be angry that we're back together. Michael goes, so
she's still crazy.
So Michael is all like, well, you're kind of older here, but because Michael thinks the mom just lives somewhere else, and the mom is just, telling her on the phone or whatever. You know what I mean? She doesn't know that the mom has been dead for like 15 years. All right. So he's like, well, you're old enough to make your own decisions. All right. And then he starts to notice like Olivia keeps talking to herself because remember, she has that schizo personality with her mom.
Right.
All right. All right. So, and then he keeps noticing that the mom is angry with her and stuff. All right. So we have one night before Olivia returns home. Michael has now been murdered by an unseen assailant in the bathroom who killed him in the throat with an electric toothbrush.
Yeah, that's a first for the show, right? Death by electric toothbrush.
Brother, have you imagine that? Like, imagine maybe there's like an afterlife and shit. You know what I mean? And you're like walking up there and stuff, kind of like Dragon Ball Z. You gotta say why you're dying.
Yeah.
He's like, so brother, how did you die? Oh, fuck it, bro. Electric toothbrush. You're like, what a fucking loser. Right? You died by an electric toothbrush. Can you explain this one to me, Alison? Like,
not at all.
Okay.
I don't know how that even happened. I was going to say that I bet that was like the height of technology in 1983.
That's true.
An electric toothbrush.
So I'm not going to lie. I laughed a little bit during this scene. It's probably not the reaction they were going for, but I gave a little chuckle.
But it was pretty ridiculous. Yeah.
So now Olivia returns home. I like how she just gets completely naked.
Yeah, immediately.
Like, you can tell this is right by guys.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because, like, all guys in our fantasy, we think that when women are done with their hard day, they just come home naked and waiting for sex for us.
Yeah,
you know
they just come home and take off all their clothes. That's obviously what happens, right?
Which doesn't happen. All right?
No, that never happens.
But
never happens.
But in men-made movies, it always happens.
Yeah.
All right? So she gets in the bed. It's not Michael because he's dead. It's Richard. He's back. Swerve.
He also didn't die, and he came to Arizona as well.
So I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit because I thought this part was also hilarious. All right.
Yes.
Well, okay. So I'll get to it. It's coming up soon. So now they're fighting with each other. He's like slapping her around and everything, and eventually he just stops and he puts back on his pants. Whatever.
I wasn't sure why he was naked to start with. Like he was
just trying to attack her. He's probably doing his bad man, stuff.
I guess so. I guess so. Yeah.
All right, so it's Christmas time now. I guess it's a Christmas movie we didn't even know about. All right, because there's one Santa that counts as a Christmas movie. All right.
Yeah, standing on the bridge in Arizona.
So I don't know if you catch this, Alison, but I thought this scene was like it was supposed to be serious and bad, but I thought it was like kind of hilarious. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So she gets out the turkey.
Mm-hmm.
All right. She puts the turkey on the table. He's cutting it up and everything, eating it and whatever. He's all like, aren't you curious of how I showed up here and why? And me as a viewer, like, yes, I am. How the fuck did curious. How did you survive the bridge? How did you know to come to Arizona after 5 years? How did you know to find a girl named Jenny who doesn't even live as Olivia anymore? How did you find all this stuff? All right, so here's the explanation that we got, everybody.
Sure.
All he does is he eats chicken in front of her. And then he tells her, let's go upstairs. He doesn't even explain why the fuck. Like, we watch 1,000 fucking horror movies where these guys do some Scooby-Doo ending of why they did other plot. And this guy couldn't even tell us how they got to fucking Arizona.
No, that's because Ulli doesn't know how he got there either. It's like, I don't know.
Let's
move on. Move on.
I was like, what the fuck is going on here? I was like, I was waiting for it. I was like, I was curious of how he got here.
Yeah.
You tell me at all.
He was even going to tell us. He even said he was going to tell us, but he didn't. He didn't tell us. Like,
all right.
Oh, well, we don't know. We don't know how he got there.
So, and obviously he's implying that he killed Michael too. All right. So now they're about to go fornicate in the bedroom. Obviously, Olivia, she's like, she knows basically what's going on. She knows that this guy probably killed Michael, her true love. All right.
Yeah. Right.
So, all right. So now, he's back at the home. All right. They're going to be in bed. Richard attempts to have intimate sex, but then Olivia comes in and she grabs the same knife that she cut the chicken with, and now she stabs and she's killing Richard in the bed.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought this scene was cool. I like the blood that was all over her face.
So there's our horror movie element. We got it right there.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So now she's killing him, everything. There's a long scene where she stuffs him in a box All right, and then she just throws his ass down the river, just like the killer did to the mom. All right, and telling her one day she will find her prince. We have a story of one day the mom saying to the younger Olivia that one day you'll find your prince of shining armor. All right, so a lot of like irony. So she found her prince in Michael. He died by a toothbrush. She had her demon who killed her dreams just like her mom did, and she got her revenge and he threw the guy down the river. So there you go.
That's our revenge movie, our revenge portion of the movie.
Like I said, out of the ones we've done with Luminol this month, I actually thought this one was pretty entertaining, and there was a couple like scenes where I was like, "Oh, okay." I thought it was pretty good. So
yeah, I thought Brainwaves was the best.
Brainwaves, I think
Brainwaves and Boogeyman are his two best movies. But yeah, I feel like that movie was really good. This movie it was fine. You know, it's not something I'd watch all the time, but you know, it's fine. It's the second best one, I think.
Yeah. So obviously we'll come back to him sometime, and obviously we'll do his Boogeyman series. So that should be pretty fun.
Yeah.
But everybody, thanks for joining us for this month of April. Alison's picks. I hope you all enjoyed them. All right. If you did, awesome. If you didn't, blame Alison. All right. But if y'all are gonna be blaming somebody, you're gonna be blaming me.
Oh God, here we go.
For May, we're gonna be doing something I've been waiting to do for a very long time, but just haven't done the bullet yet. Because we are going to be doing college 1980s slasher films, brother.
Oh, that was way better than I thought it was going to be.
The cheapest shit you can find. The corniest, cheapest shit you can find out there.
I can't wait. I cannot wait.
And our first one, I'll give you when we do this next week, I'll give you the breakdown of all the films. But the first one, everybody, is going to be a classic of mine. We are going to be doing one, Slaughter High.
Oh yeah, this is a good one.
Have you seen it before?
This is a classic. Yeah, this is a classic.
With the
Slaughter High,
with the little dorky kid and the fucking little juggalo mask and his revenge and shit. It should be fun. It's gonna be a lot of like this is 80s slasher gimmicks, brother. They don't make films like these anymore. They're gonna be doing
they don't, and they can't make movies like this now. It's just not possible. But we haven't done slasher movies in a while, so I'm excited about this.
Yeah, so 80s college slasher films. That's what we're doing. Obviously, this gimmick was brought back in the 90s with Scream, but y'all can figure out the origins of the 80s college slasher film next week on the Retro Blood when we do my birthday month picks. So, but everybody, J.H. Alison, do you have anything to say about your Luminol guy before we get on out of here?
No, I'm glad we did this. I mean, his movies some of his films are movies I've been wanting to do for a while. Yeah, and I'm kind of glad we did them. He's not the best filmmaker of all time, but some of his movies are pretty good. I love, like I said, I love Brainwaves a lot. So I'm glad we did these for posterity and for the history of the genre. Yeah,
we'll come back to him. Like I said, Boogeyman has been on my list for a while, so we'll definitely come back to him on here. So, but yeah, hope you all enjoyed it. But like I said, we'll be back here next week on the Retro Blood, talking some 80s slashers, but no music. We'll get back to the music next week as well too.
Yep.
But everybody, I just want to wish Alison a very happy birthday month. Keep rocking, keep going out there doing your thing, and then we'll be doing my old good month next month as well. So that's pretty cool how we have like birthdays like month to month.
I know.
That's pretty cool.
Right, back to back. It's awesome.
There you go.
I can't. It's a cool thing. It's a cool thing.
Cool. But everybody, J.H. Alison, James Kline, we'll see y'all next week on the Retro Blood.
See you guys.